Welcome to the next in our series of cities of the Bible. Today we're looking at two cities that are very familiar from Paul's letters, that of Corinth and of Ephesus. Corinth was a busy commercial city in ancient Greece, strategically located on the narrow strip of land connecting the peninsula to the mainland. The city had two excellent harbours, Centuria and Lyceum. A cosmopolitan centre of about 500,000 people when Paul arrived, this metropolis has dwindled to only a small city in modern times. In Paul's view, Corinth was an ideal city for a church. The constant movement of travellers, merchants and pilgrims as they practiced their trades through Corinth made it possible for the gospel to influence people from every part of the Roman world. In addition to its commercial importance, Corinth was a centre of idolatry, with numerous pagan temples dedicated to worship of the Greek and Roman gods. The infamous temple of Aphrodite, a fertility goddess, had a poisonous effect on the city's culture and morals. Paul must have been moved by the godless masses that were consumed with the pursuit of profit and pleasure. With the Corinthian church made up of people from these backgrounds, learning to live together in harmony was most difficult. Paul's two letters to the young church at Corinth, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, contain instruction on Christian living in a pagan environment. But along with these struggles, the Corinthian church also experienced significant Christian victories. Acts chapter 18 and verse 8. One noted convert may have been the city treasurer, Erastus, mentioned in Romans 16:23. A bronze plaque known as the Erastus inscription, found near the ruins of a large amphitheatre, mentions a generous patron by this name. Paul laboured with the church at Corinth for about 18 months. After he left the city, a Christian community apparently was established at Corinth's eastern port of Centuria, Romans chapter 16 and verse 1. Our next city, Ephesus, was an important city on the western coast of Asia Minor, where the Apostle Paul founded a church. As the most favourable seaport in the Roman province of Asia, this city was the most important trade centre west of Tarsus. Today the city lies in swampy ruins about 6 miles from the sea because of centuries of silting from the Cayster River. During Paul's years in Ephesus, the city was a cultural centre with a population of about 300,000 people. Ephesus boasted of a great amphitheatre which seated 25,000 people. The city also had a number of gymnasiums, baths, and impressive public buildings. Religion was a prominent feature of life in Ephesus. The temple of Artemis, or Diana, her Roman name, ranked as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. As the daughter of Zeus, Artemis was variously known as the moon goddess, the goddess of hunting, and the patroness of young girls. The Ephesians took pride in the beautiful temple, which was supported by scores of stone columns. The church at Ephesus may have been established by Priscilla and Aquila, Acts chapter 18 and verse 18. It was about 2 years old when Paul settled in the city. Timothy was also involved in ministry at Ephesus, 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 3. Paul taught daily in the lecture hall of Tyrannus, Acts chapter 19 and verse 9. Influence from Paul's 3-year ministry likely resulted in the planting of churches in the Lycus River Valley at Laodicea, Hierapolis, and Colossae. The apostle wrote 1 Corinthians during his Ephesian ministry. Sometime after Paul's ministry, the apostle John settled and ministered at Ephesus. Exiled on the Isle of Patmos off the coast of Ephesus, he addressed the book of Revelation to the 7 churches of Asia Minor, which included the congregation at Ephesus, Revelation chapter 1 and verse 11, Revelation chapter 2 and the first 7 verses. The traditional tomb of John is located at the Church of John in Ephesus. Thanks very much.